Ghostface here, and this is Ghostface. Today we're going to build a staged heating coil. So I'm going to skip over some parts and assume that you know how to do these. So first thing you need is your wire. I'm using straightened 26 for this, and I'm also using 26 for my twisted. So that's the wires you need. Twisted and a single strand. Next thing you'll need is also something to wrap on. I like this screwdriver. It makes the size coil I want for this build, and it also works on my atomizer. So let's go on down and see how to build this thing. Alright, so this is a fairly simple, easy coil to build. Start with your piece of twisted. Basically just get it on your wrapping jig. What I do is I put it down here like this. That way I can get my thumb on there, hold that in place, and now we're just going to wrap. I like to do about 5 wraps with my twisted. Get them nice and tight. Twist it around there so the leads both point down. Do is we'll just grab this lead here, pull it around, straighten it out a little bit with the pliers, mold them around so they're both in the same direction, kind of give them a little twist. And then what I like about using the screwdriver, you can't see there's a few small gaps in there. We just take, kind of push it down, clean it up a little bit. There we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get rid of the excess here. So we'll give it a little clip. There we go. There's the first part of this staged heating coil. Alright, so now that we've got that part done, what you want to do is keep this right there on the screwdriver where it is. And then grab your strand of just round. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing with the round. We're going to get it on the screwdriver. And what I do is I actually line up the end of the round with the end of the twisted, with the round on the outside of the twisted. And then once we get that in place, I'll use these 2 fingers down here on the bottom. Just give it a nice little pinch. Try and keep it close. And what we're going to do is wrap the round into the twisted so that it lays between each wrap of the twisted. It's probably a little hard to see on this camera I have, but I will also get some pictures once I get this together. So just wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. And you want to go all the way through each wrap of the twisted there, back around all the way so that your round is now on the outside. Twist it down so it lines up with the other leads. Get it down there, mold it around. It's a little springy, but hey, once you get it, just go in there, clip it even with the other lead, or as even as possible. And then of course same thing here, we're just going to take it, mold it back together there. Alright, you can kind of see but not too well with this camera, so hopefully I can get some good pictures once I get the second one built. Alright, and that's just the staged heating coil that I use. Now next, just go ahead, build a second one, and we'll throw her on an RDA. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and just throw this in the RDA. We got 2 of these made up. I am running dual coil setups. Pretty simple, straightforward, you know, put it through the post holes, get both wires in there. This can be a little tricky, but as long as you can keep those two wires side by side in parallel, get them both through there, you're pretty much good to go. What I'll do next is I usually grab a pair of pliers. I'll get a hold of my positive ends here and just kind of give it a nice little tug in and get it set as close as I can on that positive block. You'll see it kind of pulls itself in there. I'll hold her in there. And go ahead and tighten her down. Now we're just going to do the same for the other side. What we do is we'll make ourselves a little room to push them through here. We'll curve these over. Curve those around. Out of your way. Grab your second coil and do the exact same thing. This one gets a little trickier trying to get in there around your other piece of twisted and flattened, but just kind of work it in there. If you've got an RDA with larger post holes, this shouldn't be too hard, but the one I'm using right now, they're not super large post holes, so I just kind of gotta wiggle her in there and work it around a little bit, and we'll be back once I've got it set on there. Alright, so now we've got both coils in place. A little hard to see on this camera, I do apologize for that. And we are looking at 0.1. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's in there. It says 0.1. So what I'm going to do is just turn this down a little bit to about probably 30 watts and just start heating these coils, looking for any shorts, hot spots. And then what we'll do is we'll just give her a little pinch here and there. Starting to look pretty good, and what you should see is that your round wire will actually fire slightly before your twisted wire, and that's why it's called staged heating. So next thing's left to do, let's just wick it up and vape on it. Wicking, pretty simple. Take some of your favorite wicking material. I use cotton, and we'll just push it through there, grab a hold of it, pull a nice little fluffy piece through, get it in there, tug it back and forth, make sure they're both kind of fluffy, about the same size on each end. There we go. And now you just clip it off of there. You can clip it kind of close on this edge and just about right at the edge of your RDA on the other side. And you should have just enough cotton to reach down and make contact with the deck, and that should be all you need to wick this. And like I said, that's about what you need, so we'll go ahead and get our second piece in there. Barely. There we go. Let me just get another nice fluffy piece of cotton in there. So they're kind of like that. We could probably trim this one down just a little bit. There we go. Now once we got it in there and licked up, let's take some juice. I'm using a Max VG blend that I did myself. I'm just going to kind of hit the top of it a little bit, all the way across here. There we go. Get a nice little bit on there, let it kind of start to soak in. And we just kind of want to leave it nice and fluffy. Mold it under here on the edge close to your top cap, because this is not a centered coil. And we'll take this side and we'll just kind of tuck her in there. Come around and do the same thing on this one. Just swoop it in there, tuck it down below. Try not to mash on it too much, keep it nice and fluffy is the point. Same thing with the other end, we'll just kind of grab it and tuck it around in there. Make sure it makes contact with the juice well. And we're all wicked up. Let's see. What you get is a nice big air channel right there in the center through your air flows for this anyway. So you keep your air. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and drip her up, go to some FaceTime and see what she performs like. Alright, so we just finished up this staged heating dual coil build, and I like it. It's one that produces both cloud and flavor for me. So just a quick little rundown. I'm running her at 85 watts out on 0.1, and I mean that's normal vaping for me. Might not be normal for you. It's a little warm, but flavorful, and the cloud's there. So I mean, once again, I'm Ghostface, and this is Ghost Vapes, and I hope this video helped you build staged heating coils.